Picture this: a patch of ocean that doesn't exist on any map, a place where ships vanish into thin air, where planes disappear mid-flight, where hundreds of lives have been swallowed by the sea, leaving no trace, no wreckage, no answers. The Bermuda Triangle. But here's the twist: nobody even agrees on where it is. 500,000 square miles? 1.5 million? That's 1,000,000 square miles of uncertainty. The shape shifts depending on who's telling the story. Sometimes a triangle, sometimes more like a blob. Bermuda blob just didn't have the same ring to it. Yet despite this chaos, one thing is certain. Something about this place has terrified sailors for 500 years. Our story begins in 1492. Christopher Columbus, 3 ships, 10 weeks at sea. He's searching for a route to Asia when he becomes the first European to cross what we now call the Bermuda Triangle. And his logbook? It's unsettling. September 14th. The compass is northwested, and in the morning, they northeastward. His compass is malfunctioning. Days later, the sea rises to impossible heights. Then he sees it, a light on the horizon, flickering like a candle, rising and falling. He can't explain it. In 1492, America hasn't even been discovered yet. Imagine the fear, the confusion. This is where the legend begins. Fast forward to 1609. The English ship Sea Venture is bound for Jamestown when a hurricane tears it apart near Bermuda. The crew is marooned on a desolate island. Survivors return home with tales of a cursed place. Shakespeare hears the story and writes The Tempest, calling Bermuda vexed, cursed. The legend spreads, but nothing compares to what happens in 1881. The cargo ship Ellen Austin is crossing from Liverpool to New York. Captain Griffin cuts through the Sargasso Sea to save time. Then, through the mist, they see it. A ship, sails intact, drifting, silent, they approach. No crew, but the cargo hold is full. Valuable goods, just sitting there. It's too good to pass up. Captain Griffin sends his bravest men aboard to sail it back to New York alongside the Ellen Austin. Then the storm hits. Massive waves, howling wind. The ships are ripped apart, vanishing into the chaos. When the weather clears, Captain Griffin scans the horizon. There, the ghost ship. He calls out. Silence. His men board and search every inch. Nothing. The crew he sent? Gone? Vanished. Most captains would cut their losses, not Griffin. He sends a second crew. For 2 days, both ships sail in formation. Then fog rolls in, thick, suffocating. The Ellen Austin stops dead. They wait. When the fog lifts, the ghost ship is gone. The second crew vanished. The ship itself? Never seen again. Sounds like fiction, right? Except the Ellen Austin was real. Lloyd's Register confirms it sailed that route. But here's the problem. Official records show the voyage was uneventful. No storm, no ghost ship, no missing men. So what's the truth? Was it exaggerated over time? A sailor's tall tale that spiraled out of control? Or did something happen out there that was too strange to officially document? By the early 20th century, whispers about this region had grown into a roar. Sailors avoided it. Pilots feared flying over it. And soon, the modern world would witness tragedies so bizarre, so inexplicable, that the Bermuda Triangle would become the most feared place on the planet. The question is, were they right to be afraid? March 1918. The USS Cyclops is a beast of a ship, 542 feet long, carrying over 300 men and 10,000 tons of manganese ore. She departs Rio de Janeiro bound for Baltimore. After an unplanned stop in Barbados, she sets course north through the Bermuda Triangle, and then nothing. No distress call, no SOS, no wreckage. 306 people vanish into thin air. It's the single largest loss of life in U.S. naval history not related to combat. President Woodrow Wilson can only say, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." Search teams scour the ocean for weeks. Nothing. Not a single piece of debris. It's as if the Cyclops was plucked from the water by an invisible hand. But the nightmare doesn't end there. 1941. Two of the Cyclops' sister ships, the Proteus and the Nereus, vanish along nearly the same route. Same cargo, same silence, same result, gone. 3 massive ships, over 500 lives, all swallowed by the same stretch of ocean. Then comes December 5th, 1945, the day that would define the Bermuda Triangle forever. 5 Navy torpedo bombers, Flight 19, take off from Fort Lauderdale for a routine training mission. 14 men, clear skies, simple bombing run over nearby shores. What could go wrong? 2 hours in, the radio crackles. Lieutenant Charles Taylor, the flight leader, sounds confused. "We cannot be sure where we are. We must have gotten lost after that last turn." The control tower responds. "What is your position?" "We're not sure. We think we're over the Florida Keys, but everything looks wrong. Even the ocean doesn't look right. His compass isn't working." Or so he thinks. Minutes pass. Tension rises. Another pilot suggests they fly west, back toward Florida. But Taylor refuses. He's convinced they're somewhere else entirely. The tower tries to guide them. "Fly north, you'll hit land." But Taylor doesn't trust it. He keeps flying east, deeper into the Atlantic. The radio transmissions grow more frantic. Fuel is running low. Then, at 4:25 p.m., the final message comes through. It looks like we're entering white water. We're completely lost. Silence. All 5 planes disappear. 14 men gone. But it gets worse. A rescue plane, a PBM Mariner with 13 crew members, is dispatched immediately. 23 minutes after takeoff, it vanishes too. The Navy launches the most extensive search in history. Hundreds of ships, dozens of aircraft. They comb over 250,000 square miles of ocean. For a week, they search and find nothing. Not a life raft, not a body, not a single piece of wreckage. The official Navy report is chilling. It was as if they had flown to Mars. The world is stunned. How do 5 military planes and a rescue aircraft just disappear in clear weather with experienced pilots? It defies logic, but the triangle isn't done yet. December 1948. A British passenger plane, the Star Tiger, carrying 31 people, vanishes while flying from the Azores to Bermuda. No distress signal, no wreckage. Investigators are baffled. 1 year later, January 1949, another British plane, the Star Ariel, the exact same model, disappears on a flight from Bermuda to Jamaica. 37 people gone. Again, no trace. 2 identical planes, same region. Both vanish without explanation. By now, the pattern is undeniable. Ships, planes, experienced crews, all disappearing in the same cursed patch of ocean. The stories pile up. The fear grows. Sailors start refusing routes through the area. Pilots request alternate flight paths. Something is happening out there. But what? In February 1964, an American writer named Vincent Gaddis connects the dots. He publishes an article in Argosy magazine titled "The Deadly Bermuda Triangle." He draws the lines Florida to Bermuda, Bermuda to Puerto Rico back to Florida. Within this area, he writes, most of the total vanishments have occurred. The name sticks. The Bermuda Triangle is born. Suddenly, centuries of mysterious incidents have a home, a location, an identity. The world becomes obsessed. Magazines run features. Documentaries are produced. Conspiracy theories explode. This is the Cold War era, a time of paranoia, secrecy, and wild speculation. If the government can hide nuclear weapons, what else are they hiding? Then in 1974, Charles Berlitz publishes The Bermuda Triangle. It sells 20 million copies in 30 languages. His theories? Atlantis is pulling ships into the depths, alien abduction zones, portals to other dimensions, time warps. Steven Spielberg reads it and creates Close Encounters of the Third Kind, depicting the Flight 19 crew as alien abductees. The legend reaches fever pitch. The Bermuda Triangle isn't just dangerous, it's supernatural, unexplainable, a place where the laws of physics don't apply. But is any of it true? Or has fear, tragedy, and imagination created a monster that never existed? So we've heard the stories, the vanishings, the terror. But here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to hear. The Bermuda Triangle might not be special at all. Let's start with the most basic question. Is this area actually more dangerous than anywhere else on Earth? In 1975, librarian Lawrence David Couchet did something radical. He actually investigated. He tracked down original reports, weather records, ship logs, the raw data behind every famous disappearance. What he found was shocking. Most incidents attributed to the Bermuda Triangle, they didn't happen there. They occurred hundreds of miles away. Some happened in the Pacific Ocean. Others never happened at all, pure fabrication. The USS Cyclops? It vanished during World War I, likely overloaded and caught in a storm. The official inquiry cited structural failure. Not mysterious, tragic, but explainable. Flight 19? The weather wasn't clear. It was deteriorating rapidly. Lieutenant Taylor was inexperienced with that area, and his compass was malfunctioning. He flew east when he should have flown west. They ran out of fuel over the Atlantic. The rescue plane that vanished? A ship reported seeing an explosion in the sky at the exact time it disappeared. PBM mariners were notorious for fuel leaks. It likely exploded mid-air. The Star Tiger and Star Ariel? Both were Tudor IV aircraft, a model with a catastrophic safety record. Multiple Tudors crashed due to mechanical failures. The disappearances weren't mysterious. They were predictable. Couchet's conclusion? The legend of the Bermuda Triangle is a manufactured mystery. It began because of careless research and was elaborated upon and perpetuated by writers who either purposely or unknowingly made use of misconceptions, faulty reasoning, and sensationalism. Brutal, but backed by evidence. So if there's no supernatural force, what actually makes this region dangerous? Turns out, plenty, but it's all science. First, weather. The Bermuda Triangle sits in one of the most volatile weather zones on the planet. Tropical storms form rapidly. Hurricanes barrel through regularly. Waterspouts, tornadoes over water, appear without warning. In the age before satellite weather tracking, ships and planes had zero advance notice. One moment, clear skies. The next, a wall of water and wind. Second, the Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current that moves at up to 5 miles per hour, flowing north through the triangle. It's strong enough to carry debris hundreds of miles away within hours. A plane crashes? By the time search teams arrive, the wreckage is long gone. This explains why so many disappearances left no trace. Third, underwater geography. The triangle contains some of the deepest ocean trenches in the Atlantic, over 30,000 feet in places. The Puerto Rico Trench plunges nearly 5 miles down. Anything that sinks there is gone forever. No technology in the 1940s could reach those depths. Even today, it's nearly impossible. Fourth, human error and equipment failure. Compasses do act strangely in this region, but not because of aliens. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the few places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align. Pilots and sailors unfamiliar with this can easily miscalculate their position. Add in older, unreliable equipment, and navigation becomes a nightmare. Fifth, methane hydrates. In 1981, geologists discovered massive methane deposits beneath the ocean floor in this region. Occasionally, these pockets rupture, releasing huge gas bubbles. When methane rises rapidly, it reduces water density. Ships lose buoyancy and sink in seconds. The gas reaches the surface, dissipates, and leaves no evidence. Experiments have proven this can happen, and finally, sheer traffic volume. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the most heavily traveled shipping lanes in the world. Thousands of vessels pass through annually. Hundreds of flights cross overhead daily. Statistically, more traffic means more accidents. It's simple math. In fact, the U.S. Coast Guard and Lloyd's of London, the world's leading maritime insurance company, both confirmed that the Bermuda Triangle has no higher incident rate than any other comparable region. Insurance premiums aren't higher. Danger ratings aren't elevated. Officially, it's just ocean. But here's where it gets interesting. Even with all these explanations, some cases remain genuinely puzzling. The Ellen Austin ghost ship, if it happened, still has no clear explanation. The complete disappearance of Flight 19's wreckage, despite massive search efforts, is unusual. The simultaneous vanishing of 3 sister ships, Cyclops, Proteus, Nereus, over decades strains coincidence. Science explains most of it, but not all of it. And that's what keeps the legend alive. Because humans are wired to fear the unknown. We crave patterns. We see connections even when none exist. A cluster of tragedies in one area becomes a curse. Random chance becomes evidence of something darker. The Bermuda Triangle isn't supernatural, but it is a perfect storm of geography, weather, human psychology, and storytelling. A place where reality and myth collide so completely that separating them becomes nearly impossible. So what's the final verdict? Is the Bermuda Triangle real or fake? The answer is both, and neither. So here's the question. With GPS, satellite tracking, advanced radar, does the Bermuda Triangle still claim victims? The answer might surprise you. May 2015. The cargo ship SS El Faro departs Jacksonville, Florida, bound for Puerto Rico. Captain Michael Davidson is experienced. The ship has state-of-the-art navigation. Weather satellites track Hurricane Joaquin in real time. Davidson decides to sail close to the storm to save time. He's done it before, but Joaquin shifts unexpectedly. Within hours, the El Faro is caught. Winds hit 130 miles per hour. Waves tower 50 feet high. October 1st, 7:35 a.m. Final transmission. This is El Faro. We are listing 15 degrees. We have lost propulsion. We are in dire straits. Then silence. 33 crew members. Gone. The ship sinks in 15,000 feet of water. The voyage data recorder is eventually recovered. The final moments are chilling. Water flooding. Alarms blaring. Crew realizing there's no escape. Modern technology didn't save them. It recorded their deaths. But here's the difference. The El Faro wasn't a mystery. We know exactly what happened. Hurricane, human error, mechanical failure, no aliens, no portals, just a storm and a bad decision. And that's the pattern today. Modern disappearances are rare, and when they happen, we usually know why. We find wreckage. We recover black boxes. We have answers. But don't think technology has made the triangle safe. The weather is still unpredictable. Hurricanes intensify in hours. Storms strike without warning. Satellite tracking helps, but nature is faster. Human overconfidence is worse. Pilots and captains trust GPS so completely they ignore warning signs. They push limits. Technology becomes a crutch until it fails. And the ocean hasn't changed. Methane deposits still exist. Rogue waves still appear. The Puerto Rico Trench is still 5 miles deep. The Gulf Stream still scatters wreckage. But here's what has changed. Rescue capability. January 2020. A small plane loses engine power over the Bahamas. The pilot activates his emergency beacon. Within minutes, satellites pinpoint his exact location. A Coast Guard helicopter is airborne in 12 minutes. The pilot is plucked from a life raft 40 minutes after ditching. He survives. In 1945, he would have died. No beacon, no satellites, no rescue, just ocean. The U.S. Coast Guard monitors the triangle 24/7. Satellites track every commercial vessel. Emergency beacons transmit instantly. Rescue helicopters reach most areas within hours. Statistically, the Bermuda Triangle is safer than ever. Incident rates have dropped over 70% since the 1980s. Not because the ocean is calmer, but because ships are better built, navigation is precise, and weather forecasting is light years ahead. So is the Bermuda Triangle still dangerous? Yes, but no more than any other heavily trafficked ocean route. The North Atlantic claims ships every year. The South China Sea has higher disappearance rates. The Mediterranean sees more accidents. The difference? They don't have a legend. The Bermuda Triangle's reputation was built on a century of tragedy and storytelling. But in the age of technology, the mystery is fading. We have explanations. We have data. And yet the legend refuses to die. Why? Because we don't want it to. We need mysteries that can't be fully explained. We need reminders that despite all our technology, nature is still more powerful. The Bermuda Triangle isn't hunting ships anymore, but it's still out there. Still unpredictable. Still dangerous. And still reminding us that the ocean doesn't care about our GPS or our confidence. It's just ocean. And that's terrifying enough.